What is up, YouTube? What is up, YouTube? This has been a long time coming. I've decided to do this video as first introduction to my channel, and yeah, just over the past weeks, I just focused more on posting content, a lot of workout videos, few recipe videos, just trying out different things to see what's hitting most views and likes. And I just thought it was time to put my face out there and reveal, in a way, the face behind the channel. So I'm Rosario, originally from Italy. You can probably guess from my accent, even though I fake a very bad British accent. Brief intro about myself. I'm personal trainer and just content creator wannabe, I guess. Just getting started with filming and editing and learning all of that. It's a long process, which I'm enjoying so far, learning new things, and started doing crappy videos and then progressively less crappy videos, but crappy nonetheless. So it is very slow learning curve for me, because it's not my, I would say, not my, it's not my area of expertise. So, but you know what, it's fun. It's a lot of work, a lot of hours dedicated to filming, editing, and thinking about ideas for videos. But yeah, it's something like anything is better than nothing, I guess. So I'm aiming to do better and better content, and as I improve my skills and doing more interesting stuff with workout videos and maybe some food challenges. Probably those are always very fun and they get a lot of views, so why not? Also some healthy recipes, lifestyle tips, and bits of knowledge, I guess. But this one is gonna be more about me. So just wanted to talk about like how did I ended up here on this channel talking about myself. So first of all, the title of the video, Old Beginnings, I thought about it because even though this is the first time I really focus on fitness full time, fitness and going to the gym has been part of my life, like bit of like on and off relationship for many years. I started actually doing sport when I was probably in elementary school or middle school. I was swimming. I was decent at that. I loved it. And unfortunately, I had to stop after a few years because I wanted to move up to a better facility, because the pool where I was going to was starting to feel a bit small for me, and there was very good facility in another part of the town. Fortunately, none of my parents could take me there because of their obligations, so I decided to quit that. And since I still wanted to do sport, obviously, I started trying out different things, and I did a little bit of football, but I'm really terrible at that. Basket as well, really terrible. Taekwondo, I'm really shit at those kind of things. And that left me with obviously one thing, which was the gym. Now, at first I didn't love it because I don't know, I just felt like maybe it was because I was too insecure about my physique and my skills, so I didn't really feel like I belonged there, because I saw everyone around me and they all seemed like they knew what they were doing, which now, like with the knowledge that I have, I know that they didn't. They actually know fuck all. But anyway, it was just how I felt at the time. So I did it I would say, very inconsistently for a few months. Um, then I would quit, then I would join, then I would quit again, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this kind of pattern. And then I quitted for years, and I had absolutely no interest in joining the gym again, because I didn't really see the purpose, because it wasn't something that I loved. I didn't love the environment, the people there, but that was mainly my fault because I was really having a bad attitude towards it. So what happens is that when I was a kid, like, was pretty uneventful childhood. Then the moment I got into high school, that's when the problem started arising, and that's when I would say I was at my lowest, probably. I didn't really fit in. Not that I was putting all that effort in, to be honest, but just I felt like I was different from everyone else, and no one really understood the how can I say it? Like how to get to me in a positive way. So I cut myself off from everyone else, and I just isolated myself. I was very lonely, barely any friends. I was barely going out, no exercising, nothing. So my life was a bit of a void at the time. I was just consuming a lot of content, then doing what every teenager does, I guess, like playing video games, watching movies, listen to music, very basic stuff. But yeah, like emotionally and mentally also, I was really not in a good place. It, I think it improved a little bit when I moved to uni, and I started meeting people from different cities, even different countries. It was a more like a broad environment, which I think it helped me, because it's not like I want to, like, box up the kind of people from my city, which is, by the way, Naples. I don't think I've mentioned it. It just said a lot of them, they made it in a very, very specific way, which couldn't be more different from me. So if you're a person that aligns with how they are, you're gonna be the best of chums. That wasn't me. But I always thought that it was my fault or their fault, but actually I don't think it was no one's fault. It's just that when you are in the wrong environment, you definitely cannot thrive. So rather than bending my personality to the environment and sacrificing parts of myself, I decided to just reject the environment, but that meant loneliness, of course. So after struggling in high school and I guess doing minor improvements in uni, started dating a few girls and going out a bit more. It was time, obviously, to get out of uni and started to get into the job market, which was no fun. I was very naive at the time, and I thought that with a bachelor degree, I'm gonna get flooded by offers, and I'm gonna find a great job. I'm gonna be so successful. I'm gonna earn a lot of money. But I think that's just the way you're brought up in some countries or in some families. They just have a linear outlook on life, and they think that everyone should fit that path. And if you differ from that path, you're kind of a weirdo, which I guess almost all my family, thinks that of me, but that's totally fine. So what happens is that the only job I could find was a shitty job in a call center, which was close to the lowest, but not the lowest. It was whatever, like it was paying just bare minimum, and I could buy a few things for myself, so I didn't have to ask money to my parents all the time, which was good enough for me. I did it for about 6 months, and then after 6 months I'm like, you know what, I quit. This is shit. Started looking around for new opportunities, but could not even get hired in bars or pubs, and it was getting really depressing. Um, Luckily at the time, and that's where fitness entered my life again. I started going back to the gym with one of my best friends at the time, and we even had the same coach. We were doing the same diet, going to the same gym, training together, going out together. So at least it was getting a little better from the social perspective. No, anyway, uh, so I started getting back on my fitness journey, and I approached it with a much, I would say, more mature mentality. The fact that I wasn't going out much helped because I could stick to the diet better, and I would say like I was very very good at that. Like always very precise with my meals, with the quantities, with timings, with eating very very clean, and that's actually the thing that most people fail at. I wasn't so good at the gym. Like I was very, very weak, and I thought that I didn't like it at first, and I only liked it because I was going with my best friend, so it was more of a social thing. But I was like, let's keep going for a while because I'm starting to see results, and actually I lost a lot of weight that helped with my confidence and um, also seeing myself in a new light because I'm like, one day I looked at myself in the mirror. I actually kind of was kind of shredded. I didn't have any muscles because by all means I was a twig, but I was actually shredded. I'm like, holy cow! Like I can actually do this. I now just need to pack on some muscles. So I started, I don't know, finding new motivation, and then I started going online, doing my own research, watching a lot of YouTube videos. As most people out there, I started out with the OGs like Mike Thurston, Metas Fitness, with Christian Guzman, and so on. So those guys really helped me a lot. They gave me my first bits of knowledge, tips on how to train, how to stick to the diet, and overall also I'd say, which is very very important to be consistent, how to live a healthy lifestyle, because some people seem to think that living this life it's like living the life of a monk, when it's not the case at all. So it's actually great because you get to live a healthy life and a fun life because you do what you love. And then in the end, what people perceive as sacrifices, they end up becoming just part of my life. Like at this stage, I cannot imagine like not knowing what's going on in my body, like not knowing what I'm ingesting, not weighing out the food and not eating clean. It seems like it would basically cancel out all the progress that I've made over these years. And generally like this kind of lifestyle can help you thrive, and it doesn't help you just with confidence because obviously your body looks better, but also mentally because you eat healthier food for the brain as well, so you have more clarity, more focus. In general you're quicker. Also it helps you with better control of your mood because obviously food helps you regulate hormones, and especially when you get rid of all the processed crap that people eat on a daily basis, like cereal or processed meats, things like that really does not help at all. So obviously like you can cheat all the time, and I do cheat all the time, but that's more for the soul. um, but yeah, like it shouldn't really be the norm. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, after that, like I was on a good streak, I would say, and I was really starting to feel good about myself, about my life, and I was like, if I could just find a decent job and a good woman, I might just settle here. I don't care if, I've had, I don't care what happened in the past. I don't care how I feel about the city or the people from here. I just need to find my circle, my friends, my girlfriend, my few family members that I care about, and I could just be happy. Then what happened is that I lost my father, and I guess like it wasn't the main reason why I decided to move to another country, but it was what made something click in my brain, because it was almost like I was holding on to all these things that I had there because of my family, because I didn't want to move away, and I was scared to live my life there. But then after obviously the job situation was very bad, because I quit the what's it called, the call center, and thank God I did, because it was horrible. But obviously I was again without a job. I lost my father at the time. The only thing that I had in my life was literally the gym, and that's it. And then at the time, I felt like it wasn't enough to justify like an existence there. And one particular night, I was very, very depressed, because I was like, oh my God, I've been without a job for like 6 months and I can't find anything decent. So I was just having a chat with one of my best friends, which actually has been living abroad for over 10 years at this moment, at the time. And I was just complaining to him, and he was say, come on, move to London, you're gonna like it, you're gonna find job and a house, whatever, you're gonna find space for you. That night I made the decision. It just, again, something really clicked, because I think it was a collection of everything that happened over the past year. Probably that was 2018, so it's been over 8 years now. And yeah, I went into the kitchen, and my mom was there, just chilling, watching TV. And I just, without even introduction, I just straight up said, I decided I'm tired of this, I'm gonna move to London. And I was actually surprised by her reaction, because she didn't even question it. She just looked at me and she said, yeah, I think it's a good idea. And because she knew that I was really, really depressed, and I wasn't, I don't know, things were not gonna improve anytime soon. So basically, I did my passport in like 2 weeks, which is like a world record. And then the 1st of August 2018, packed up all my bags and moved to the UK. For the first few months, I lived with my friend. We lived in a house with other people, so that was pretty cool, because at least I had someone that I knew that I could rely on, and it was good, because he helped me to deal with a lot of paperwork, which is something that I hate to do. And yeah, then I started working, and then again, like, I put the fitness journey into the back burner, so I completely dropped the gym. After a few months, when I settled in and I was okay with spending money for this kind of things, I was like, you know what, yeah, I might just join the gym. But there, like, it was different, because it was really hard to stick to a diet in a city like London, because you're busy all the time. When you're at work, you run like crazy. It's very easy to live an unhealthy lifestyle, because you drink a lot of beer and alcohol in general. The food that you buy at the supermarket is not the healthiest. When you go out, obviously, you don't want to have, salad and grilled chicken. So I was also trying to make up for all the time that I wasted in Naples. So I was, going out a fair bit, not like every day, but, definitely more than what I did when I was back at home. So I decided to just focus on that. So again, the gym failed again, and I just quit it after a few months. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna focus a little bit on my career. I'm gonna do what I can to progress in my job, which at the time was in restaurants. So I started as waiter, and then I decided to progress as manager. And at the same time, I'm like, you know what? I haven't traveled nearly as much as I wanted, so I just focused on traveling. Every couple of months, I was in a new country. I was exploring, and I loved it. I did it all mostly by myself, sometimes with a friend, but it was mainly by myself. I went to hostel, made a lot of friends, and it was a great experience. It really helped me get out of my shell, which was thick as fuck, um, and actually helped me find out a bit more about myself, because I guess you don't really know what kind of person you are until you start getting out of your comfort zone and you challenge yourself with things that you never thought you'd be able to do. So I did it, and it was great. I saw so many places that I fell in love with, made loads of friends because I also changed houses all the time. But yeah, it's been like a lot of ups and downs. But London so far has been an amazing experience, and I'm glad I did it. Actually, I regret not doing it sooner because it would have helped me a lot after high school. But I'm still 100% glad that I did it. I don't regret a single thing. And also, luckily, I did it before the whole Brexit thing was official, so I didn't have to deal with any of the shit that people have to deal with these days. Anyways, that basically after 2018, each passing year was pretty much the same, like stick with the same group of friends, which I still have to these days. And yeah, focused on traveling, progressed with my career. And then there was a moment that really, really changed my whole perspective on life. And it made me understand probably most things about myself. And it was when I turned 30. The fact is that by the time I turned 30, what has happened over the years is that I progressed in hospitality, became general manager. I was doing events, was doing like lots of weddings, social media marketing. So I was doing a lot of fun stuff. But my lifestyle was terrible. The money was shit. I was spending a lot of time commuting because the restaurant was like an hour and a half away from my house, which I only did because I absolutely loved the place, but I could not deal with that anymore. I remember like spending every weekend in that place, and it was great in a way because when you organize the most important day for many people, which is their wedding, then you want to be there because it's your baby. You want to make sure that everything goes all right. So I was doing it, like I was willingly doing it, but it was destroying my life because I could never see my friends. And I remember the oppressive feeling of finishing up at 2 a.m. a wedding and then just going through central London in the bus and seeing everyone outside clubs enjoying their lives and having drinks and chatting and laughing. And I was there fucking exhausted, going home, have a shower, get into bed, wake up a few hours later to start a new shift. And it was like a never ending cycle. So eventually I decided that I just wanted an office job. I thought that was the right thing for me. It took me about a year, and then in the end I found a job in real estate, which actually surprised me because that's literally the last place I saw myself working at. But I was actually very lucky because I wasn't even the first choice. Another girl was choice instead of me, but she had to go back to Spain because her mom was sick. So my ex-boss called me and he told me, "You're still interested in the job?" And that's how I got it. So I started working for a real estate agency and just renovating like Airbnbs and again helping with marketing and doing a bunch of creative things. So in a way, like a lot of things about my job was really fun. There was also a lot of boring things like dealing with maintenance and housekeeping. Like I hated it because it's like you think that everything's perfect, you're about to leave, and that everything is fine, and then you get the call literally 1 minute to 5, and it fucking destroys your afternoon because you have a shitload of problems to solve. Plus, there was the company phone that I had to have with me all the time, and just it wouldn't stop ringing. So sometimes I had to leave, actually, if I was in restaurants or museums or movies, and I had to go to these apartments to maybe flick a switch, and it was driving me insane because you always have the sort of like ang- anxious feeling like, oh my god, this is gonna ring anytime. But then, like, it was good for a while. Money wise, was even worse than hospitality. A lot of people, like, when I told them, oh, I work in real estate, and they were like, oh, we must make a lot of money. And I was like, nope, no, I don't. So yeah, I did that for a couple of years, and then that's when things really started going bad again. And it was just the whole lifestyle. I couldn't afford anything, not even going on holiday, because my pay was that bad. So I decided to, I don't know, to just take a little break. Went on holiday and started thinking about things. When I went back, I pretty much is like I never had on holiday, because it's like the feeling when you go back to work and then after an hour, like, fuck, I need another holiday already. And yeah, I started having a very bad period where I was doing a lot of mistakes. I was in a very bad mood. Everyone was noticing. I was having arguments with a lot of my colleagues, and basically the whole environment turned toxic. It wasn't just my fault, obviously. It was the job that was driving everyone nuts. But yeah, that was my like how I felt it. So one day, I remember this very specifically because it was the day after, actually, we had a meeting where the three partners of the firm, which, by the way, great people, but just the problem was was everything else. They called me into a meeting room, and I remember the whole meeting room being covered in post-it, and on every post-it it said all the tasks that needed to be done. And they realized that I was doing like 2/3 of the tasks. So they were like, sorry, like, we realized that this was a one man's band, and want to make sure that your workload is proper, and that you enjoy what you're doing a great job, and blah blah blah, and we just want you to stay here, so just pick up the bits and pieces of the job that you like and you can do it, which was incredible. And that's I don't think that there are many places that where the owners just ask you to do this kind of thing. So I was shocked and very grateful, obviously. But the problem was always the money, the lifestyle, and then there was one thing that I could not get, that I could just not grasp, and I could not express it with words yet. So what happens there, literally, I think it was just the day after, or maybe like a few days later, since things were going bad still, we had another meeting where I was sitting in front of the three partners, and they asked me what was the problem. And at first I was about to say, I don't know, but before I could even form these kind of thoughts, like, the words came out of my mouth, and I started just crying and saying to them, I just feel like I'm doing something that just gonna make you rich, successful, and it adds nothing of value to my life, and that makes me unhappy. So I told them I had complete mental breakdown after saying that, and I just started realizing what was really the problem, which was that I was working hard for someone else, and I wasn't doing anything of value for me, which I realized how important it was, but I could never really, like, materialize the thought in my head until it literally slapped me in the face. So what happens there? They obviously asked me, so what's gonna happen now? Are you going to quit? And again, I was about to say no, but then before I could even think of a different answer, I just say, yeah. So I just stayed for a couple more months just to fix whatever I had to fix, and at least I left on good terms, which is always good. And then I just felt lost again, because Well, first of all, it was December, which is the worst possible time to leave your job because it's the holiday season. London is pretty dead in December. Nothing's going on. Like companies are not really operating, full capacity, because everyone was like, "Oh, come on, let's just get to the 24th, which is not normally the last day, or the 23rd, and then we can enjoy some holidays." So not many people really hire, even restaurants, which are normally always hiring. So I also didn't want to go back to hospitality. So what happens there? I spent nearly 2 months without a job, which obviously drained my finances, maxed out all my credit cards, and yeah, again, pushed me to the brink of depression again. And when at some point I had to sold like even my possessions, like my vinyl collection and my camera, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to pay rent. And it was pretty depressing, but also taught me a very important lesson, which is money management, which I do now infinitely better than whatever I was doing back then. So yeah, that was a tough lesson to learn, especially around when you're in your 30s. Something that you should learn way earlier, but anyway, better later than never. So what happens there? After a couple of months, actually a guy that I worked with years ago got in touch with me and asked me if I needed a job in a restaurant. I was tempted to say no, because I was like, I don't want to work in restaurants anymore, but obviously, what are you gonna do? Well, money is money, and I needed to pay rent, so I'm like, fuck it, let's do it. And actually, that job helped me a lot because it paid very well. And also, I wasn't working evenings, which is something that's very important to me. And because for some reason I'm one of those night owls that gets very creative at night, and during the day I'm just not in the mood to do anything. So what happens there? I was working at the restaurant, and then in the morning and afternoons, and then I didn't even care about weekends because I wasn't going out anyways. But yeah, after that, I started focusing on my free time and just trying to do something productive with my time. So I went on basically all my interests because I wanted to find something, like a project, something to do with my life that would help me fill the void. Because the problem is that it's good when you understand what's the problem, but then the next step is to fix it. So what happens there? I decided that it was time for me to really look after my health. So I stopped eating at the restaurant, and I started bringing my own food, and I started going back to the gym. And it was just I don't know, like it was a magic moment, like the first workout that I did, because I just I just feel like, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, like lifting weights and eating healthy, and it just feels right. So I think it was always right to me, but the problem is that I wasn't ready yet to make it as big a part of my life as it is now. So I remember like just deciding, I don't know, thinking to myself, can I actually make a career out of this? So maybe, I don't know, working in gyms and as personal trainer. And then I remember the moment that convinced me was I was training by myself, like most times, and I had my music on. I was focused on the exercise, and this guy just approached me and asked me how to do, I think it was triceps push downs. And I just, without realizing, I spent like 5 minutes explaining to this guy what was the exercise like, the biomechanics, how to use all the different angles, what muscles that he hit, and things like that. So, and then I went back to my training, and I was like, holy shit, that was good. Like, I like doing this. Now, obviously, the guy kept doing the exercise wrong, but that's not the point. I did my part. And then, yeah, that basically convinced me to get my certification as gym instructor and PT. I did it pretty much in 6 months because most of the knowledge I had it already, because I consume an absurd amount of YouTube videos about mainly this, but about a lot of things, but mainly about fitness, diet. You know, you're I'm big as a fan as everyone, like, you know, Jeff Nippert, Mike Israetel, and and other guys like this. So I got my certifications, quit my job in the restaurant, and yeah, got lucky enough to find a job in a gym now. So I actually work in two gyms, and just let me backtrack first to why I started the Raw Aesthetic project, which actually I, I barely touched upon. And it was during the last year. I officially started in February, but things were brewing since last year. I just wanted something that was mine and a project that I could pour my whole heart and soul into, and something that felt authentic. Just it doesn't have to be regional, revolutionary. Like, it's not like I'm not funding the cure for cancer here. It's just a website where I put workout plans and diet plans and things like that. So there's like about what, billion of them. It's nothing new, but it's mine. It is made with love and passion and a lot of hard work, and it feels right. It feels like that's what I'm meant to be doing. And that's why, even though my life now is all over the place, because I work at two different gyms, and plus I'm working on my own business, I don't have a moment to spare. And every moment is like, okay, how can I be productive now? So if I have internet, I'm like, I don't know, I'm editing maybe content, like digital content. If I don't have internet, I write my notes, or I edit videos. Like, whatever I can do, I do it. I don't care where or how. I just found a way to be productive, and it's just something that has absorbed me so much, and it makes me so happy. But also, it's very, very challenging, because there's a lot of things that I don't know, and things that I'm learning, and I'm eager to learn. It's just I feel like, in a way, obviously I joined the party quite late because I'm already in my 30s, but I don't care. Like, I know that that's what I have to do, so I'm gonna keep going, keep pushing, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So that was the reason why I wanted to do this video, because of, I don't know, my revelation, like, that I had during my 30s, and then brings back to the to the real meaning behind this video, which is the sense of purpose in life. A lot of people maybe don't think about it enough, but I think it's important to have something that drives you, something that wakes you up in the morning, like, yes, I get to do it. So even if it's hard, you don't say I have to do it and you kind of dread it. You say, I'm lucky enough that I get to do it. And you need a purpose, something that moves your gut, something that really drives you. And I think it's that kind of like healthy obsessions, one of those healthy obsession that really gives you purpose, that you want to work hard for. You want to always raise the bar, and it just is something that speaks to you, and you want to use it as a way to express yourself. So it serves many purpose, and the main thing is that it has to be something that you love. Because I also spoke to a lot of people all the time, and especially with young people, because working in hospitality, you get to speak with a lot of young people. And I always, we always talk about, what you're doing, you're studying, you're working, what you want to do after uni. And a lot of them, like, they're bloody smart, don't get me wrong, but they say, sometimes they say to me, that kind of worries me, because they say, I wanna do programming, I wanna do I don't know, engineering or whatever. And then obviously this is great, nothing wrong per se, but then I ask them, oh, so is this something that you love? And they say, oh no, but you make a lot of money. And I'm like, yes, but to make a lot of money in a field, it is basically has to become your second nature. It's something that you need to be extremely good at. If you don't love it, I don't think you're gonna be able to pour in all the hard work that it takes to excel at that. So it doesn't matter what it is. Like, it can be the most niche thing ever. Like, there are people online that make videos about the silliest thing, but it's their thing, and they just master it because they love it. If you don't love it, I don't think you're gonna stop at some point, or like, oh fuck, I don't want to do this, this is horrible. So yeah, again, like, I want to really hammer down this point. When you don't know what to do in life, maybe start by elimination, like take out the things that you definitely don't want to do. Then take one thing. I think it's sort of a mix of things that you love and things that you're good at. So try to combine them together and transform them into something that can be marketable and can make money. And even if it doesn't, like, you still get to do something that you love, which is great. So do it because it gives you purpose first, and then if you become really skilled at that and you are smart enough to make it profitable, you're gonna find basically what you're gonna do for the rest of your life, which is great. And one last thing, like, which is a quote from the CEO of Apple. Is it Tim? I forgot his name. Anyways, Tim. Nope, it's Tim. But anyway, I don't remember his last name. Basically, he was talking about the famous quote from Buddha. That's about doing. When you do something that you love, you're not gonna work a day in your life, which is kind of inspiring, but at the same time not really true, because what CEO of Apple said is that I learned at Apple that is actually not true at all, because I never worked as hard as I did from the day I joined Apple. But the problem is that the fact is that when you work so hard for something that you love, the tools become lighter in your hands. So that should be the thing to strive for. You don't get to do easier things, you get to do harder things, but you become better at that, you become more skilled, so the harder things become easier to you. And yeah, that's it. I think that's all I have for the moment. Is it's almost 45 minutes of me rambling. Yeah, there were moments where I don't know if I made much sense. Kind of lost the plot, but yeah, at least I got the main purpose of the video right, which it was, yeah, again, the sense of purpose that drives you in life. So if you like the video, just, yeah, like and subscribe, DM for some details about diet plans and workout plans, comment what would you like to see in the next video, and stay tuned because I'm gonna start posting more regularly. So ciao.